Thank you, everybody. That is Lacki. Lacki, why don't you see if that one's working? Yeah, not that one yet. Maybe we have to share our one. Yeah, that's okay. As we said, guys, thank you so much for coming. It is quite a short film, but we did the best that we could in 3 days. I'll just say that one more time. 3 days we did all that. So, yeah, thank you very much. So, Lacki, why don't you grab a seat? I'd like to also introduce to the stage all of the cast that came to the screening and also the cast that were in the film as well. So please welcome the girl of tonight, Chantal Peck. Please welcome Mr. Odysseus playing Daniel. While Odysseus is coming down, we'll also get Mr. Cyan Murphy. We also have Mr. Ace Cruz. And last but not least, Mr. Andre. Andre, that's right, yeah. Fantastic. Welcome, guys, and thank you again so much for all your time, dedication. You look beautiful tonight. Amazing. Incredible. Yes. I'm very fortunate that my character already had a nice attire, so I'm just wearing what I wore on the set. It was very easy to get. All right, well, why don't we start with you, Lacki? Why don't you tell us what the experience was like? I mean, not just working with everybody, but doing a feature film in 3 days, and also it being your first ever film set, ever.
Second. But with you, it was one of a kind, definitely. It was mind-blowing experience, and I don't know, I just went for it. It was, I don't know, it was my dream, like my whole life, kind of. So I didn't really have time to think about it at all. I was just so happy to do such a movie project, feature film, right? So as soon as we started this conversation, I was full of energy, and I'm happy that I just did it. I have no words, sorry. I just don't know what to say right now.
You did a great job, Lacki. Thank you. I think everyone agreed. Lacki did amazing. This is your first time acting. Hell yeah, you're so good. And Chantal, I hope you forgive me for telling the audience this, but I believe that we all witnessed your first ever real life date on camera. Chantal had never been on a date before in her life, and that was her first ever one. I think it's great.
We're halfway through shooting, and the second day of the shoot, Josh was talking all about dating, and I was just avoiding everything he was saying, and then he looked at me and he's like, have you been on a date before? Yeah, my first date ever was with Lacki on screen. It's just a teenager with braces. I just moved to Melbourne, so it was very exciting to be a part of this. I'd mostly done films in this sort of way as well, because I followed Joel Haver. That's sort of what we bonded over when I was cast in this. I'd done an improv film when I was 17 where I was just married to a mannequin and he was giving me the silent treatment. So, and then some other sketches. So the only way I was cast in this was you just went and watched some of my sketches from high school and you were just like, yeah, sure. So I'm pretty happy to be part of it. That worked out well.
And Chantal, you've also directed a few feature films, haven't you?
Well, the mannequin one. Shout out to Jimmy. He's a golden man with one nipple. He's still a big part of my life. No. Sorry, he got really handsy with him a couple weekends ago. Still a very big part of my life. And then this year, me and Josh collaborated again for the Joel Haver film A Movie during the Oscars challenge, where we meant to shoot in about 3 hours. We did it in about 6 hours, but we shot another 40-minute film. This was an hour, but we shot a 42 2-ish minute film.
In my
It was kind of like a
garage.
stage play in your garage. Odysseus was also part of that. We had Odysseus, Joshua Bruce, who's somewhere in the crowd, hey, up there, and Kathleen, who's not here right now. But it was really great to all work together. Yeah.
Fantastic, Giselle. Thank you so much again for being so open and vulnerable, especially, we didn't know that it was your first time taking, so I think you did a great job. Very, very good job, thank you. Odysseus, you did a fantastic job as well. I feel like you're the most seasoned of the actors here, I think, if that's correct in saying. Yeah, you've done a lot of projects. I'd sort of known that Odysseus was like, I think, the first one that we went to get someone, purely because it's an improvised film, and I thought getting someone with experience, getting someone that knows the ropes would be really good. The funny thing with you though was we did yours in like maybe like an hour and 20 minutes. It was like the shortest thing I've ever done.
Yeah. Very kind words, Josh. Thank you. Yeah, no, we pumped ours out like a couple hours. Just walked from Southern Cross down the Yarra, did like a little loop, and then I was wrapped. I was done. That was a very interesting experience. I did not know what to expect. I definitely expected that like kind of dry awkwardness of like the improv in real time, you know, but it was a very interesting experience doing this. Yeah, if I went back to do it again, I'd do it a lot different. But it's like, now here we are like a year later, and something later, and did not know what to expect. But it was fun, it was really fun on the day, it was so spontaneous, you love that.
Yeah, it was such a short shoot, we didn't even have to feed you lunch or dinner, did we?
No.
I loved it.
Yeah, it was good. Economic filmmaking, good job, Josh.
And Mr. Cyan. Cyan is somebody that I work with, and Cyan, you're not really a professional actor, are you? You've done some acting.
No, I've done some acting
Yeah.
in my younger years, but nothing like this.
Yeah, I don't think we could tell. That was really, really good.
Thanks, guys. No, it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed
you
it.
finished your work shifts and we just went down like right
Yeah,
into
Josh had me working to the bone, man. I was 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. shooting, and it was fun though. I really, really enjoyed it, so I'm very appreciative of you for giving me the opportunity. It was a lot of fun. I feel like it's like a bucket list ticked off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. I feel that way as well. I feel like there's probably like a lot of directors that have made films that haven't been improvised. They've just gone with scripts, so it's cool that I can tick that as well. It's interesting with your one that you were on this like bridge thing, and I was on the other side of the water, and I couldn't hear you and you couldn't hear me, but you just got it, like you just improvised that scene.
So Josh was actually, the bridge that I was on, like you said, was kind of, there was like a bank, and then there was some water, and then there was the bridge. Josh was at the other side of the bank. So Josh couldn't hear anything that I was saying. He could just, I guess, see me being rude to Lacki, sorry. And afterwards he would listen back. I guess you listen back and kind of give me some feedback, and then he would say, okay, let's do it again this way, let's try it maybe a bit kinder to him this time. Now we really mean one. So we kind of did a couple of takes.
That was cool because we sort of put all, I don't know if you know, we put all those together, and your nice in one shot, then being in the next.
Yeah, because I haven't seen it, guys. It's my first time seeing it too, so.
Very, very cool. Great job,
yes,
team.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mr. Ace Cruz.
Ace is shy.
Ace also works with us, and Ace was with us on the shoot with Cyan, and we shot your scene and then minutes later we shot Cyan's scene. Yeah, that was a cool scene, and again, you just did it, you just got it perfectly. You're a natural villain, I felt.
That's my first time. I didn't know I got $30 on this pocket.
It was so
If I knew, I wouldn't.
Yeah, and I feel like we discussed what we discussed beforehand, like, oh yeah, we'll do these sort of things, but it was all just came to you on the spot, wasn't it? You sort of what you said and how you pointed at him, the things that you brought up, that was just natural from you. It wasn't like we had given that to you, and that was...
Not stealing, but yeah.
Yeah, I think you did a great job.
Thank you.
Would you do it again?
Sorry?
Would you do it again?
Yeah, I'm actually nervous right now, because I'm not an actor.
And Mr. Andre, thank you as well so much for being in this production. And I think as well this was also your first ever shoot. Am I jumping the gun there?
It was, well, first like artistic shoot.
Yeah.
I've done some like e-learning multimedia in class.
Yeah, that's credit that counts.
I wouldn't classify it as creative, really. But yeah,
Yeah.
so thank you, really.
Oh no, you were fantastic. I think I think that was a big surprise from all of us, is that we all sort of know you guys as friends, but then seeing you act artistically, seeing you putting on a character, seeing you saying improvised lines, which I think is quite interesting, because usually those lines it has to come from somewhere, and when you're in the spot and you're nervous, usually I think these lines come from, like when I was acting, these lines sort of came from somewhere that I didn't even know what they were coming from. They just came out, and I just said things. Like I said that line about the city and about Melbourne, and I think that was true of you as well. It was interesting to sort of, especially both of your scenes, you know, you have this big discussion about dating. Yeah.
I think the very first take we did was the most natural, organic thing. And I think we went for like 15 minutes straight, something like that was the first take. After that, starting to overthink it, like, you know,
Yes.
yeah, just more and more layers on top. But yeah, I think we shot the whole thing in, I don't know, no more than 3 takes ever.
Yeah, crazy, right? It's so crazy. That was a real party that we went to, wasn't it? Wasn't it? Those weren't actors. That was a real party that we gate crashed. Big shout out to Jake over there. Thank you, Jake, for letting us film at your party. That was really cool of you. Yeah, I went home at like 1 a.m. and I had a big nap. But I believe you stayed at the party. You had a really good time, didn't you?
Lacki and I stayed until the end. So the cops actually arrived like half an hour later to tell us to keep it down. And then from that point on, we couldn't really have any music on. So there was like a little bit of a tug of war back and forth. It was like, come on, can we at least put a little bit of music on?
Because you were still in character.
So pretty much. So we ended up just having a phone in a cup. And that was allowed. But as soon as you had some like batteries behind that,
yeah. Maybe I should have stayed and got that in the film. It sounds really interesting. All right, so we've got to have a microphone going around if anybody has some questions really quickly before we wrap up.
Thanks, that was so much fun. If you were to go back and film this again and each of you were to play another person's role, who would it be?
I would just play Lacki again. Try it again on Natasha. And just, I would deal the t-shirt for more. You still owe me 70? No, no, I'm happy with Lacki. But I would change a lot, definitely. But yeah, there was a lot of interaction with like public, which not all of it was in the movie, which was like unscripted, of course. A little bit reminds me of Borat. I was just, it was cool. It was a nice vibe, and I was in the flow and just playing with anyone basically. So that's what I enjoyed truly and really a lot. And also working with these people, it was like the character of Lacki was kind of, they've been like pushing, like all these guys, they've been pushing the character somewhere, and I love it. Without them, it wouldn't be that cool and funny.
I'd like to rope somebody. That sounds fun.
I played Natasha. I love to play Natasha. I'd infuse some romance back into this. Whatever happened to like the shooting star romance? You know, this man comes across the world. Like, you gotta take that. I would have spiced up this film. Would have been R18 plus with me. Oh yeah.
Funny you said that. I was going to say Natasha too. Oh, it could have been a rom-com, I don't know. It could have been a little bit more romance in there. Yeah, love triangle, right? Yeah. Look.
I still play the Filipino. I got it. but with his skills. Like, he's such a good actor. I've never met him, but when I saw the film, he was really good.
I think if I'm not allowed to go to Chantal's role, probably Cyan's, because it would be a lot of fun just to then, oh, get the hell away from me, what are you even doing talking to strangers? And sort of graduate into being helpful and like quite kind. That transition from one side to the other would be really good to sort of play with.
I would do Ace because it's short and sweet. Next question.
Hi Josh, it's Rod here. How are you?
I'm really good. How are you?
Yeah, good. Well done to everyone on the film. And Bernard is saying that you're not actors, you carried the scene, you were believable, so you are actors. So well done to you.
Thank you.
My question is, were you given directions by Josh to say certain words at a certain time, or did you just improvise and say you're playing this character and just go crazy?
I think, yeah, we were just given the rough idea of what's happening in this scene and then just go. So everything was just kind of on the top of our heads. We just tried to roll with the situation as much as possible. So it's kind of felt like, just acting naturally if everything you're saying is bullshit. Like, just keep it going, that kind of thing.
For me, yes, he just asked me to go because there's a lot of movement for me. So he asked me to go to this spot, and because he's trying to capture the scene. But yeah.
Yeah, same. So he gave us rough outline of the scene, and he would say, okay, this is what's happening in this moment, you can do whatever you want with that. And then after one take, we would talk, and he would say, okay, I like that, I like when you said this, I like when you said this part, maybe not this part, let's do something else there. And then we would go back and do it again, and we would do it again, and we would do it again. And then what you see in the movie is some kind of zombified version of each piece, each take. But there was never a say this line or say this. It was very much up to us as to what we were to say. For me, at least.
Yeah, no.
I feel like you get it. You get it.
Sure.
Hi. Soundtrack. It was really good. How? Explain.
Tom Douglas did the soundtrack. He's currently in New Zealand, but he's a member of Movie Mutuals, and he's been there for a very long time, I think longer than myself. So yeah, great work to Tom. It was amazing. He did such a good job. The funny thing was that he composed the music really early on, like a week or two after we had done it. He had like a draft of the music, and it was like exactly what we wanted. And I had that problem where I had a temp track, so that's a temporary song that's very popular and cost millions of dollars to get that I couldn't use, but I sent that to him. And yeah, I had been listening to that for so long that it was very hard for me to get over it. So I think it was very healthy that it took a year to get the film out, because I finally got over it, and that's the music, and I think it's great. He did a great job, especially in the cinema, to hear the orchestra and stuff. I thought it was really good. Yeah. Thank you. Any more questions? This is my mother, so thank you very much, Mum.
I have a question for Andre. What was the flavor of vape he was smoking?
Yeah, so that was the running gag, is the blueberry flavor, the blueberry scent, the blueberry perfume. It was sort of all connected with Lacki's day. So that's what drew him to me in the beginning of the scene.
We called one of the songs in the soundtrack Blueberry Girl. Because of, yeah. Cool. Any more? Yeah, anyone else?
First off, really good job to everybody. I think that was a terrific example of improvisation. But I would like to know more about the true story this was based on.
I was worried this was going to happen. Yeah, there's somebody in the audience sitting among us who I'm going to save their identity. I'm not going to say anything, but basically when Lacki and I met and we discussed doing a short film that turned to a feature film, we were bouncing all those ideas. We needed something very quickly, something that was like a really cool punchline, fitted in one sentence that we instantly could just improvise scenes of. And that very week I had heard my friend tell me about this thing that had happened to them. So it wasn't them that had gone overseas, but a person that had come from overseas for them. Yes. So it was based on a true story. Yeah. But also I think I hope that we've made this film in a very respectful and light-hearted nature. You know, we weren't trying to make fun of Lacki, but we just sort of laughed with him. Hopefully, I was laughing.
Do you use your Nike card? I'm so serious. So I understand that you're talking about how this movie was fully improvised, and I think that's great. My question is, when you're getting Lacki and everyone else to film this for you, do you already have like a rough outline for the whole narrative from the get-go, or when you're shooting this, I assume chronologically, right? Here's a start scene, here's the next scene, scene A, B, C. When you go from A to B, you know sort of a rough idea where you want to go, because you're explaining to Odysseus, you're explaining it to Ace, you're explaining it to Lacki. Has there ever been like an instance where any of them took the scene in a completely different direction and you just ran with it? Or did you just stick to that narrative and you were able to stick to it really well?
Yeah, really good question. I think that we've sort of, we definitely knew the ins and the outs of each scene. That was like an absolute must, and it was very much concrete. So we knew that Lacki had to leave without a shirt. And then the next scene, he has to start the scene with a shirt, without a shirt, and then leave with a shirt. And that's like, that can't change it. The whole film falls apart. So yeah, if you consider that like just two concrete things, everything else can change. You know, he can do whatever he wants. It's sort of like with Ace's one, like however Ace stole the shirt didn't really affect the next scene, as long as he takes it. That's all that mattered for that. It was such a long time ago, so I'm struggling to remember more, but that sounds about right, doesn't it? Yeah. Thank you. Any more questions? We got like another 5 or so minutes. Yeah.
Nice work, everybody. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks for the film. Yeah, I was wondering, as like actors and co-writers in a way, do you ever feel like killing any of the characters or killing any of the actors, like due to art or entertainment or your own human psychology?
Can you repeat the question?
You want to kill anybody like during the production, either fictionally or like in real life?
I don't want to kill myself right now. I think my character would have wanted to put Lacki out of his misery. He saw this shit coming from a mile away, walking red flags. I thought, you know, there was an element of sympathy there, like a vet putting down a dog. Anything else? Like, did anyone else want to kill themselves or other people? You sure?
Next film.
Yeah.
We'll do a murder mystery next
No, I just felt like everybody wants to kill me because I was so eccentric and crazy. But no, that was the character of Lacki also in real life. Like 1 year ago, I was actually like that. And yeah, I changed a lot in the past year. But yeah, it was beautiful that Josh just said like, all right, you come from here, you go, and then the finish line or finish scene is something like this. You're gonna leave at that place, whatever. And so I was able to do whatever just came to my mind, really improvising. And that was the most beautiful part of it, just to do what really popped in my head. That was it. And yeah, somehow we created Lacki. Yeah.
Yeah, I like how the film was really lighthearted throughout it, but then like Chantel, embodied a bit of a dark edge there, with her dating strategy and all that. But yeah, it's cool. You got an ensemble of different characters, and you're trying to bring the most out of everybody's acting. So thanks, guys.
So, have they been talking for 6 months or a week? Because that's the difference between a character who is relatable and a character who is a lunatic.
I was
So, which is
told
it?
in my character description that I've just been talking to a bunch of guys, and I was gonna just go on the floor, got a bit mixed up. And then also, you thought I was blonde though, so were you talking to Samantha as well?
Lacki seems kind of full of shit.
I've never been blonde, it doesn't work with my complexion.
That's the question, was Lacki full of shit? Like, which character is full of shit? Okay.
I just assumed he had a low IQ.
I forgot your name. Yeah, so the true story behind that was that I just wanted to get the visa.
Alright guys, was there any last questions, any quick ones, really quick ones? Down over there, you can shout it out.
This is a question for Chantel. Can you tell us a little bit more about your relationship with the mannequin?
Well, this is not a short story, is it? Basically, when I was a young lass, my parents owned a party hire business, and they had a golden mannequin named Jimmy, and every time one of my best friends would come around to my house, she would say, "Can we go hang out with Jimmy?" And I'd have to go get the key and unlock the other building and go into a storage locker and unlock that, and then we'd go hang out with Jimmy with a tripod and film some little sketches, and it got to the point where it was a big part of my identity, unfortunately. But again, I gotta stick with these things. It is online on YouTube. You know what, I'll link it in my Insta bio. It's on my YouTube channel. Cheers. Thank you, Josh.
And thank all of you guys. Thank you so much for coming. Yes, thank you for coming to the world premiere screening of Lacki. It's been an absolute honour and privilege. There's a lot I could say, but just a big thank you to all of you guys. As you mentioned, all of their social medias are online as well. We've got to head out of the cinema now, so I'll just say one last thing. Lacki, you're off to Sydney this week, aren't you?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm going straight to Sydney because there's my connecting flight going back home, if you remember. But I don't know how much can I say. Just cool. Yeah, we're shooting a sequel. In Sydney. So this was my first time in Melbourne. Now I'm going to Sydney, and this is just going to be much better.
Wrong crowd, Lacki, but that's all good. Guys, thank you so much. Get home safe. Follow them on social media. We'll see you at the sequel screening. Thank you.